Hello, YouTube people. What is going on? I'm feeling a lot better, and thank you for any of your prayers and everything that's going on. I'm not done with my cold by any means, but I am doing a whole lot better, and I thank all of you that have given me prayers. I know when people have prayed for me, and I've felt it. So I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I wanted to talk to you all today about deception. People, I'm just going to use the word karma. It's the same thing as I told you before. But karma has this way of sneaking in on people sometimes. And it all depends on how you treat the situation that you were involved in. In other words, let's just use an example here. Suppose that let's just say you're a guy and you had 2 and 3 girlfriends, and one was coming to see you, and you started getting close with that person, but you didn't want to give them all that you told them that you were going to give them. So let's just say you're in that player mode, okay? And then this other one comes along and starts talking to you about how they want to get together and maybe marry you or whatever. And they look like they have a lot more going for them in their life. And so you just cut it off with that person that went to see you. And you just went and married this other girl. It can work either way. But then that person ends up being like the devil himself or the devil herself. And you're wishing and hoping and praying and wishing and hoping and praying that you can get back into some kind of relationship with that person of old, but it's already too late, and it's too late, and you're still hooked up with this guy or girl, whatever it is, and you're just stuck right in the position that you're at. There is nowhere and no how that you can get out of that situation. And you're just stuck there. And you're having to reap what you've sown. And you're not even aware right now that you're actually in your karma. There's a few ups and downs or whatever, but you haven't really experienced it all yet. It's happening. I can feel many energies out there that are experiencing this right now. They are in total regret of what they've done to somebody of old. And they wish that they never did what they did to this person, because they know that it was the most wrong thing in the world to ever have done to them. But it's too little, too late. And you just can't do anything. It's like you're just sitting there watching it all happen right before your eyes. You just do not know what you could do to get back into good graces with that person of old. You just wish that you could turn back time and have that same time again, to where you made the right decision, but you just can't even get it back. There is no way to turn that timetable back, and you just wish that you wished. I've not been in that position because, I have had many options at one time, sure enough. Like I said, I'm not I'm not sure that I was correct with that. I just needed to have people to pick and choose from, but I didn't play with them as far as, having each one of them believe that I'm, totally in love with them and that I'm going to see them and this and that. I never did that. I just had a certain amount, then I narrowed them down to like 3. And then when it all was said and done, I only had one. And I went to see that person, and they just, excuse me, they just turned out to not be who I was expecting them to be. And they pretty much rejected me. But hey, sometimes it has to happen for you to open your eyes up, And I don't really have any regrets on it. I learned a lot of things through that time. I've done my healing, and I've moved from that situation. That person told me to move on, told me I had my freedom, and hey, I took it. Hey, superb. But yeah, I think it happens to everybody in their lifetime where they have to go through something like that. But, that had to be like one of the most difficult times of my life, because I've never been in a situation that I wasn't aware that I was put into competition. I was treated like an option. It was so profoundly stupid, basically, and I wasn't even aware of it. It's like that person had me in total darkness, like I couldn't even see what was going on outside of where I was at, and brought me totally down into negative energy, because that's where that person is dwelling, and I just didn't know what to do. Excuse me. I'm just normal like anybody else, but I had to kick and scratch and claw my way up out of that hole, and then get a ladder and start climbing up that ladder back to where I know it's safe to be at. And that's what I did. If I've talked about old before, like I said, I was in a status that was like way up here, and that person brought me down to a status that was way down here, and I just didn't even know where I was going or what I was doing. I was just lost, and now I'm not. I'm right back to where I need to be. I've made a few more clarifications in God. I always stayed with God, and that's why He protected me, but I wasn't, I was kind of like not really communicating with Him as much as I should have been during that time. And I pretty much lost it, but I had to get it back, and I found it, and thanks God that I'm right back to where I need to be. So anyways, like I said, I'm gonna get into my life purpose. I think the best way to define what I'm going to do is life coaching, but I'm gonna do it in a spiritual transformation type of situation, where that's the niche that I'm going to choose as a life coach. Spiritual transformation, because I have personally been through a few of them, and each time I come out a lot higher than I did before, and I learned not to make the same mistakes that I had done in my past. And so I'm going to teach other people how to learn and detect those certain things that go on, so that they don't get themselves into that same kind of position, and And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it online. I'm probably going to start my own channel doing that as well. And I'm also going to do the food channel. And I'll do those two, both back and forth. And I'll still update you on this channel as well. Like I said, this one here is going to have everything to do with my family and certain circumstances that have gone on in my life. And hopefully through my experiences, you can also learn a lot. Because that's really what my main goal is to teach people what and what not to do. And if you're a lot younger, it's better that you learn that before you have the experience, although I recommend you go through that experience at least once in your life, probably not as late as I chose to do this. But, I didn't have no choice because that person helped me to get there. I learned my lessons very well, and, that's how it worked. But I'm very grateful and thankful for everything that I've learned. And I want you all to know that I love you so very much. Don't forget that. I truly love you. Love yourself. Love God. And by all means, love each other, people. Until the next time, love, peace, and soul.